The Tirumala Venkateswara Temple, also known simply as Tirupati Balaji Temple, is one of the most revered and wealthiest temples in the world. Located in Tirumala, near Tirupati in the Chittoor district of Andhra Pradesh, India, it is dedicated to Lord Venkateswara, an incarnation of Lord Vishnu. The origins of the temple are lost in antiquity. The Tirumala hills are mentioned in various ancient scriptures, including the Vedas, Puranas, and Itihasas, as a sacred site where Lord Vishnu resides in the form of Venkateswara or Balaji. The most popular legend says that Lord Vishnu descended on earth as Venkateswara to save mankind from the trials and troubles of Kali Yuga. According to Venkatachala Mahatyam, Lord Vishnu appeared on the Tirumala hills after a long penance and married Padmavati, an incarnation of goddess Lakshmi. It's said that Mauryas and Satavahanas may have patronized the site as a Vaishnava center. Sangam literature mentions the hill as Thiruvengadam, considered the northern frontier of the Tamil region. The Pallava, Yadava, and Chola dynasties were said to have contributed to the development of Tirumala in the early centuries. The rulers of Vijayanagara MP between 14th and 17th centuries were the strong devotees of Tirumala. The rulers like Krishnadevaraya were very generous and they contributed gold, land, and several endowments, which made Tirumala rich. This period is considered as the golden age of Tirumala temple. Vijayanagara was defeated in the Battle of Talikota by 5 confederate states, Verar, Vidar, Ahmednagar, Golconda, and Bijapur. Vijayanagara rulers abandoned the capital Hampi and moved to Fenyakonta, and from there Chandragiri later on. Vijayanagara Empire became a minor kingdom in due course, but they continued to have control over Tirumala temple. Vijayanagara Empire was defeated by Golconda rulers later on and the Tirumala temple administration came under their control thereby. But the Golconda rulers didn't interfere with the administration and allowed it to continue as before. Golconda itself was defeated by Aurangzeb in 1686 and the Tirumala temple came under the control of Mughals. The whole of South India came under the reign of Nizam of Hyderabad and his vassal Nawab of Arcot. The administration of Tirumala temple came under the administration of Nawab of Arcot. The British were becoming stronger around this time. The British, who came to Madras in 1639, had been given a grant by Vijayanagara ruler Raja Venkatpati to build a fort in Madras. The British emerged more powerful in 1750 and the Nawab of Arcot assigned all the revenues of Tirumala temple to the British East India Company in lieu of his debts to the East India Company. Thus, Tirumala temple came under the administration of British. They considered it as their responsibility and prestige to uphold all the traditions and rituals of the shrine. There were challenges, and the brother of Nawab of Arcot waged a war eyeing the wealth of Tirumala, but the British army defeated him and protected the temple. Hyder Ali became dominant in the meantime, and the Tirumala temple came under his administration for a few years. The temple administration went back to Nawab of Arcot, when Hyder Ali's son Tipu Sultan was defeated in 1792. In 1801, the Nawab Arcot signed off his entire kingdom to the British East India Company, and the Tirumala temple came under the administration of the British yet again. The British East India Company sent George Stratton from Madras to become the collector of Chittoor and Tirumala administration came under his control. George Stratton thoroughly studied and documented everything about Tirumala temple with the help hereditary trustees and the history of Tirumala temple was written in English for the first time in 1803. The East India Company administered Tirumala temple for almost 90 years. In 1841, The British decided to keep away from the administration of all the temples and transfer the administration of all the temples to the local religious mutts. Tirumala temple had a revenue of rupees 1 lakh per annum then, while all the other temples, numbering more than 180 temples in North Arcot district, had a collective revenue of only rupees 32,000 a year. So, the East India Company was seriously considering many options to administer this important shrine, and finally it was decided to hand over the administration to North Indian Hatharamji Mutt, which had its presence in Tirumala. There were numerous complaints and litigations concerning maladministration, and decades later in 1933, the British had decided to take over the administration of Tirumala through the Act Tirumala Devasthanam Act. There had been several improvements thereafter. The famous Tirumala Ghat Road of today was laid in 1944 by the British engineering company Gannon and Dunkerley. Rao Bahadur Nageshwar Iyer, the then Secretary of the government, planned and coordinated the project. Rajagopal Naidu from Madras started the first bus company, Venkateswara Bus Union, in Tirupati. Rajagopal Naidu himself drove the first ever bus on the Ghat Road all the way to Tirumala from Tirupati. The formation of Andhra Pradesh took place in 1953 and the Tirumala was given to Andhra Pradesh in 1957. The Tirumala shrine continues to be a most revered, a richest pilgrimage destination, and thousands of ardent devotees turn up to the temple every day.